magic is imagination. We are moving into an age of manifestation. Things become actually less material, more ethereal. The golden dawn is when we awaken to this new station of life. What you think becomes real quicker. Regain our imagination, regain our inner child, and let that inner child out.
My name is Frank Castle, founding member of the music group Heist Click and New York City Neo Shaman. After a serious injury sidelined my career in 2013, I decided to set out on an adventure to search for myself with the help of the plant medicine ayahuasca. What I discovered waiting for me was something I could have never prepared for. It was time for me to become something more, someone more. It was time I became fearless. Shine as my heart beats a rhythm with space and time. When the light starts to shine inside your third eye, you awake to the knowledge that you never die. I'm becoming fearless. What is up, everyone? It's your main man, Frank Castle, your Sorcerer Supreme. And this is Fearless, and I am back with a vengeance. You might as well just call me the Rider. It's been since January since I've done a show, and I did not realize that until last night. I've been so wrapped up into my own game, to my own name. I kind of went backwards a few steps while launching myself forward up the entire staircase. I just had to work my way back down. Start collecting pieces that I missed. First of all, shout out to the Fearless family. Everyone in the comments. I love you. How are you? What's going on? Please click like. I'm going to say subscribe and share as well, but the algorithm will not count you unless you click like, which means the watch time and the hours won't log in for me if you don't do that. And I'm sorry about that. So I would really appreciate it if you could just click like. That would make it a lot easier for me to do what I need to do and to make sure that you're getting this info out there and that you're part of the Fearless family. This is great. What's up, Della? Shout outs. I was going to tell you earlier I was doing a show, but then I didn't. Joe, Wizard Joe is in the house. Shout outs to Joe and Della. Love you guys so much. Let me get up in here. Kitty Catwhack, what's up? Tom, yo, my brother, Weapon X in the house tonight. This is beautiful. I missed you guys so much. So much. Abundance Protocol, shout outs. 88, what's up? Lexi, we are here. We are here and we are ready to go. Melinda, Paula sends her love. What's up, Gary? All right. We got a nice crew in here tonight. I really appreciate the Gray Jedi. I really appreciate everyone. Nick, all right. The family is still intact. I love it. As you know, I've been doing shows. I've done a lot of interviews. I said I would keep my interviews alive and going. It's not that I gave up on the channel. I tried to describe this once on the show and I did it wrong, but I was being pulled away in another direction. One where I had to complete the task before I can speak on the task. Even though I could have just been talking this whole time about politics and procedures and all the crazy revelations of what's happening in the world right now. None of that's really important. Everyone's talking about that. So that you have your favorites just out there talking about it. But I needed to do something more. See, I'm not here to just talk about it. I'm here as the example. With my etheric translator and now wife, by the way, woohoo, Paula Milo. To do that, you have to be very extreme I'm noticing this now. On your turn inward, as you fix and heal things, to watch them now, watch where once something was broken or disoriented or just not correct is now getting correct. And I want to live through this part. But they're like, when you do this, there's something else that happens. And I'm like, well, what happens? They're like, well, you evolve through the whole the process. You're evolving. So I'm like, well, yeah, okay. So re-hit me with the evolution. And they're like, well, you haven't been allowed to evolve. So now you're being like the chain is off the fence, it's open, and now you have to get from here to here now. Then you reach this spot, that's where you're supposed to be naturally in evolution. But it's a graduation. Well, who's graduating? What are we, in a university of some kind in the universe? Well, yes, you are. You're in the holographic universe. The holographic, raw, organic matrix that wants to work with you and not against you. Some people would call this 5D, right? That's the reality where we're down here in the deception, the distraction. It's meant to keep us at a slow grind when it comes to our evolution. So this is being removed. So naturally, many of you we all have our contracts. We're all here to do certain things, right? Well, a whole bunch of us here are to be the example. So to be the example, you have to literally go through it, not just go through it, then come back and talk about it. You're going to change and transform inside this space, right? It doesn't mean I'm going to change into a light being and fly off, although the end of the process, it does include the Multiverse Saga just started playing on my phone randomly. So the idea is to come in here and evolve through and show those around that this is what you can do when you accomplish your goal. So I have to dig in, remove the karma, remove the trauma, heal, nonstop. Now I don't sit around and just go, well, I'm healing. I go through my daily routine, but it's 100% recognized at my stage that there are certain things that need to be in rhythm for that evolution to show itself to the public or to your family and friends or however. So I don't know when. I don't know when it happens. We talk about this all the time, but I'm going to say towards that solar event, it's going to unleash a few people, quite a few, randomly pop off. And those people are going to be able to do things and be more of what the human is capable of. There'll be many. There'll be athletes doing the craziest things you ever seen. And you're already seeing that now. You can see amazing things being done. I watched one of the best archery shooters is a woman that shoots with her feet. I watched an archery shooter that he does like trick shots and stuff. So he does it without looking. Like he'll just throw something in the air, take a quick look, and then doom. But on a crazy level, I seen him shoot a shot, put a hole in this little sign, and then fire another arrow through the hole. And it didn't even look like he was paying attention. He just fired one, waited, fired the other one, bang, bang. And I'm like, okay, so we're reaching another level. These are just little examples. In the Animatrix, which was the little stories prior to the Matrix, there was a story of an athlete. He was a runner, and the runner he was like one of the fastest runners. He was like breaking time each time he ran. He was breaking the records. So he's running and he starts breaking through the matrix. He starts seeing that it's the matrix, and he's able to run faster and faster and then do all kinds of stuff. So it just kind of opens, right? You can't have one person just be the example as well, and then all eyes are on one person, because that's how it was done in the past. That's like a Jesus scenario, right? And then everybody's like, oh, it's Jesus Christ, your savior. And it's like, no. Hold on. What happens if like a couple of million people pop off randomly and each one of them can do just an exceptional thing, beyond exception, all the way up to moving and levitating objects, maybe making plants grow, maybe speaking with the animals, right? And it looks like they're having an open form of communication of some kind. You might not understand it. And then suddenly you're watching it occur. And you're like, well, it looks like harmony to me. From here, it looks like harmony, things working together for the betterment. And they're like, well, that's how it's supposed to be for a creator. And I'm like, oh, I want to be that. I want to be that. So to be that and to contract and come in here and be part of that, you really have to clean up and get your act together. I started holding myself internally to a higher standard than I ever did. And doing that, I got kind of trapped in me. I became highly positive, thought charged. Things around me were changing. My cat, who wants food, and I'm not getting it for her because I'm doing the show. We have this really intense form of communication where, and I'm sure cat owners have this, but I've been around cats for the last, since like 2014, 2015. And it's grown exponentially how they treat me, even though I'm treating them nice. You know, I love them and everything. But now it's become like I can't be without you. I've never seen this before. Kind of dogs do it, but my cat does it. But we have a couple. We have 4, and they do it with Paula. But my cat Sugar Pop does it with me. And I know from just the way she rubs like my face or my beard or my foot, whether she's hungry, wants to go outside, wants me to sit on the floor. I just feel it instantly. And I'm like, whoa, that's crazy. And Paul will say, no, do this. And I'll go, no, she wants to do this. And she'll go, no, she doesn't. I'm telling you, I'm a cat mother. She wants that. And then she'll see me sit on the floor and break the topic. And she'll go, wow, the cat really did want that. How did you know? I said, I can hear her. But it comes through subtly through the touch. So she rubs me and I get overwhelmed with the feeling. And I'm like, wow, there's intense communications going on here. And we've discussed this probably ad nauseum before on the show, but you need to rehash things and remind people, listen, this is really crazy. This is really magical things that are occurring. When you start greeting the day and then sending love ahead, and you wind up traveling to your destination without any obstacles, or the obstacles seem to tend to move out of the way. You don't even recognize it. You're just like, bro, I got there so quick, pulled up right up front, got a spot, did what I had to do, got back in the car, got home, got a spot, because everything here in New York is you got to get a parking space. And it was no problem. It's like, what do you mean it was no problem? It's like, it's just like I slipped through. And I think we've all had moments like that. But what happens when those moments and things like that start piling in the good way? Now, I'm going to tell you what happens, to me at least. I get overwhelmed with awareness. So my awareness will go up in a scenario, just sitting in the room. The awareness will tell you what's going on in the room. We all know what awareness is. But what are you paying attention to? Well, the higher you get as you go, the more detail is in the detail, and more detail is in the detail. Like, I've been sitting in this room now for a year and 3 months. And details will pop out of the background of the different things that are here. And it's like, don't forget that. Boom. And it's looking right at you. And you'll go, man, I totally forgot about that. Or I wasn't aware of that. And it's like, well, you're always surrounded by it, but now you're aware of it again. And you're like, well, I've done that before. Of course, I've been aware. You got things to do and things. No. It jumps again. And then again, and multiplies across and moves laterally. your awareness and starts to surround a scenario. You can start depicting things immediately that you would not normally be able to do. So I was at a party the other day. I can't really talk about this, but I'm going to try to. So I noticed in one of the kids, every time they spoke, it looked like the crowd at the party, which was only like 15 people, maybe less than the 12 people, shut the kid down. Just talked right through them, over them, didn't care, and I watched it happen once where I did it, but I was not trying to do that. I wanted to hear from them. I haven't seen them. And then I saw her face from the other side of the room. She just turned a little bit, and I said, oh, I got rushed with everything that she was feeling. I'm like, oh, this isn't going to work. Go in the other room. I grab her. I talk to her. I start talking to her. Everyone comes in the room, just talks right over it. She quietly got up, bounced. At the end of the night, I just went to give her a hug and be like, yo, I'll see you next time. And she gave me this weird hug, like. So when I got home, I started going, you know what? I've never seen this way before. Like an entire room affecting one person, but there's so much good going on in the room and so much other stuff that nobody's noticing anything. So I started digging into the detail. I'm going to do it now. Probably I'm starting to freak out a little bit because I felt a heartbeat, the rhythm, the change in attitude. I smelt the difference in the room. I felt from a little kid, you mother truckers are despicable. And I was looking at her like, this can't possibly be occurring. Just for it just kept going and kept going and kept going. I came home last night. I didn't cry, but I got worked up over it. And I started talking about it, and I couldn't stop thinking about it. She's like, yeah, you're a little overwhelmed with the scenario. And I'm like, no, it sucks. Could you imagine somebody doing that to you? Wait a second. You live that life that people do that to you. And for them not to do it to you, this is how you have to be. And it just goes because your mind is going. And the intricacy, it just keeps digging into the detail. So I got stuck in the detail. I got stuck in the detail yesterday. I got stuck in the detail for the last 6 months. But what's happening through that is you whirlwind out of it and all the fat falls off. So it was almost like I cocooned. I ballooned up to 235 pounds. I'm only 5'8". That's huge for me. I've never been that big. I looked like, for my wedding, I looked like a fat cherub with a beard, and my beard was weird because it got really big, and I didn't have the mustache, but I had the sides, and it was kind of messy looking. My suit, and I went shopping for my suit and for a suit, and everything, it was slim, and I'm like, I haven't seen one slim person to fit in any of these clothes walking around the entire place. I used to work here when I was a kid. There was no one that slim that worked here. Like, I'm like, this isn't going to work for me. Right. I got so big, I had to go to shirt sizes up. I have long arms, but I had the cuffs out to here, but the shoulders had to be there. You know, you get clunky and messy. But I'm solid. So I started turning into like a Santa Claus character, big belly, thick legs, fat face. But I had all these insights. I have all these insights. I'm going to release one tonight. Just one, though, we're going to talk about after we warm this up and get a bunch of people here, say what's up to everybody again. Shout outs to the FearLess family. Yeah, so it became so overwhelming that you don't realize that you're in there for a long time, like a cocoon. And the only one I was bouncing things off of was Paula. And let me tell you, our morning talks are the advanced versions of our show of that we've ever done. And we've talked about the craziest stuff. I sit there with her and we go back and forth just as we can believe it, but can't believe what's occurring. We built up the back. It was 6 just blank concrete slabs back there. There was nothing. And an empty table. If you go out in our back now, it is a lush green, all right, concrete floor, no doubt, but we put some rugs down. We made it look cool. We got it to look green with little flowers and all kinds of cool stuff. But the tables, we brought out four more tables. Bring out the tables. Put up the umbrella. Grow some plants. I don't care. This is what we said to each other. I don't care that you're not you might move or make it the full summer or make it through the winter. Like that's a barren, plain palette. Go out there and create something, because we can't just sit here. We can't wait for 5G to approach. You have to create it. We're creating it as we go. So I'm like, well, what? This is how we talk. So what's on your mind? Well, I'm thinking we should put flowers this year. This is what she said to me. She goes, I've always tried to grow flowers and it never kind of worked right. And I want to grow flowers. I was like, all right. So for the bees, I'm like, oh, for the bees. She's like, I think they attract to me specifically. And I'm like, explain further. She's like, last year, a black bee came into the yard. And as I was telling you about, I want bees, it was a bumblebee. It landed on her ring finger and then wrapped itself. And she was standing there and she said, I think they want me to do this. I was like, wow. So we get bumblebees here. We have bumbles. We don't get those jerk bees. We don't really have hornets and stuff like that. I'm sure they're around, but we just get fat bumbles. And we love them. So we set up little water stations, and it looked like we were setting up a little town outside of empty pots when it first started. My mother was like, what are you doing out here? Just making a mess and blah, blah, blah. Now, you go outside, there's a stretch of grass for the dog in a raised bed that's just big enough for her to jump in and kind of jump in and roll around on. I mean, we have only cement, right? So we set up areas of growing along the side. All the plants are over 6 feet tall. Everything is huge. I took they're like $100 tents that you would bring to like a parking lot and set up and sell things under the tent. Well, I just took the skeleton of that. It kind of clicks out and it just goes up. And I threw a shade cloth over it and I put the table under it. And I said, we're going to do this. I said, what else do you want? She's like, well, we should have a couple of, weeds legal here now. We should have a couple of plants. We'll keep it small. We'll keep it friendly. Okay, cool. All the plants are over 6 feet. We have sunflowers. They're all popping up. Everybody's bigger than me. The table is aligned. We started hanging shade cloth. We have 30% and then 50% on the sides, and then connected it kind of where we put up our picnic umbrella, and everything lays out now like this beautiful, flowing, friendly garden. Looks nothing like the Bronx when you're back there. And then you open up the garage, you throw the barbecue on or whatever it is you do. We got plenty of room in the garage and it's all cleaned out. Everything's out in the middle of the yard. So now you have an indoor and you have an outdoor. And this is my point. You keep going, even in the blankness of it. And even in your mental blank, like I'm on the inside of myself. I'm not ready to talk to everyone live. I could only be asked questions like, what do you think of AI? Come on the show and discuss it. I'm like, well, all right. That's not a problem. And shout outs to all my brothers and sisters out there bringing me on their shows. You're all amazing. And I plan to have every single one of you back on this show, specifically this month. You keep going, you keep creating, you keep doing. You have to kind of be relentless in it, but in it, and this is where we're going to get in tonight. Something happened to me in the cocoon that I need to share with every one of you. That when it hit this internal thing, this external factor popped up. This is the kind of stuff that we love on the show that everybody wants to hear about. But here's a crazy little detail. I've done mushrooms this year a handful of times as a vitamin. So you're taking a tiny, tiny amount, 0.15, 0.2, although 0.25 starts to work on me. Less is more. but I mean like at night to go to sleep, because I'm having night, I can't sleep. I'm not sleeping correctly. And it feels like I'm being electrocuted or electric shocked. Not a bad one, but like if someone took these two fingers and jammed them in your side and you didn't know the person was there, and it hit you in the tickle spot and just went, and then you were like, oh, I keep getting hit in different spots of my body this way, and it's driving me fucking mad. I've supplemented, put myself on heavy doses of magnesium. I take magnesium now all the time. I've done ivermectin treatments with the fenenzabole, I have to get it so I can pronounce it. And I'll let you just see what it is. So it's Fenbenlab, fenbenzidol. This stuff just, it like what I was taking with the ivermectin and flushing my body, I was still bloaty and weird. And I thought, what if I wasn't getting rid of everything in my body? What if it just wasn't enough what I was doing, even though I have enough to cure cancer, right? So I'm like, maybe we should switch it up and try. And I added that to my regimen, and maybe on a show we'll discuss my regimens and stuff. And my whole lifestyle changed. It blew out of me and went through me in ways and things emptied out inside of me that I was not aware, even though I've been on this mission to kill every parasite in me for the last year, right? I'm like, we have to clean out. We're at that age, 50 years old. I don't know what's going to happen, but I do know what's going to happen, but I'm not waiting for med beds and shit. You can't wait. This is the thing about evolution. You don't wait. You rebel against the system, and then you start to realize what's happening around you. And then you start just taking care of yourself inside of that thought. And as they reach out to you and the system says this and the system says that, you just go, no, fuck out of here. Nobody cares what you say. And you just keep going. It does something for you. It fixes your heart. It feels like crazy at first. Like, oh, you can't live like that. You can't talk like that. Like, who's going to do something? You going to do something? I don't think so. Ain't nobody going to do shit. If you're not hurting no one and you're not hurting yourself, what's the problem? Right? You find out that you're the problem. That's what the problem is. The inside of you. Each and every single one of us as individuals have this problem, and we make these corrections. And you realize, you're like, holy shit, I feel a little more free. I know other things have grips on us. Not as much. You think right now that, no, it does. And I'm like, no, there's a split coming. And for all those that think the AI has got you and is dragging you down, and the 15 minutes, that shit's not happening. You should, at some point, you have to trust in yourself. And like me, I have my knowledge, so I have to trust my knowledge. I trust myself. I would never send anyone else to get the knowledge, not after the way I know now. I'll go right into the pit. I'll have the talk with Satan, all the demons, get all the information necessary, come up, talk to all the angels, talk to Source, make sure everything's A-okay, and then just get to work on anything that's interfering, right? So during this cocoon time, you're very vulnerable. Things happen in this world that are just, they're in Revelations. It's shocking, not shocking. I write songs about this stuff. We've talked about it ad nauseum, that they're trying to keep us sick. They're trying to keep us down. When I say they, there's like the invisible cabal in the background that runs the whole show. And we know how it tripwires up to reptilians, grays, tall whites, and all of these weirdo characters, and they all pray to the AI. I mean, they're not that invisible if you think about it. It's literally on your dollar bill. And just pull that out and look at it again and reveal the enemy to yourself and see that the eye of Sauron watches you. But at the Ascension protocols, there's a whole bunch of us graduating, and we're going to boop right up past that, the top of that point. We're going to come right past it. Bink. And what happens when that occurs? Everything shifts back up, and it's power to the people, just like Superman. I wonder what movie's out right now that they're pumping like crazy, and it was fantastic, is the new Superman movie, right? It requires hope and belief and struggle and your own intestinal fortitude to get things done, because that's based on you. So I want to be that. I want to be the original, the OG. I want to get back into my power. I can't get back into that power if I did shows all the time. This is what I was saying to myself. Like if I'm doing shows and talking about this stuff, I'm only a partial way through it, and I don't even understand what's going on. And to talk about this will make me now sound crazy. Like I don't know what I'm speaking on. They're like, well, you shouldn't be speaking. I'm like, and I've tried to do shows. They never worked out. There was always some kind of interference. And when I popped up today, it was like, I feel it right now. It's like hyper freedom of my time, effort, and energy. It was almost like drawing me to the microphone. I was shaking before we started doing this. I'm like, we're going to discuss some crazy stuff tonight. And I got a lot to say, and it's been 6 months, and I don't want to ramble on a 4-hour show tonight. I'm going to do another hour, and we're going to cover the topic. So while I'm just checking out some of the comments, I just want to let you know YouTube changed the algorithm on us. Sent me a letter last night saying that they're canceling my monetization in 30 days unless I get 1,000 more subscribers. This was the oddest thing to get at like 11 o'clock at night when you're just sitting back like, I'm ascending and this is really difficult right now. Oh my goodness. And then you're like, oh, everything I worked for is about to be taken away from me. They said 1,000 subscribers, 4,000 watch minutes, and something else. And I was like, you got to be kidding me. And it was all clicking into place. You can choose the path of fear, and the AI will hold you down. The system's gotcha. Blah, 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 blah. Well, you get up and you dust things off and you get her done. And whatever I set my mind or my intention to, my focus goes in, and everything else tends to go away because there's details inside my focus I have to pay attention to. Right? So you hone in, and then something different happens. It starts to advance very quickly. So I've decided to take the road of advancement. So I'm going to just let you know now. I'd really appreciate you taking this journey with me. And if you could just click like, I'd appreciate it, because your view don't count unless you click like. And it won't count towards what we're doing here. I don't do this for money. It's just time, effort, energy. But if they take away the little bit I got, it's going to make it really hard to dictate. So all I ask is for a like. And if you're not subscribed, subscribe. And share it to all your friends. Let's see what's going on in here. Hey, Shell's here. Enter True Powers here. Inner Mystic. What is up? Michael, my man Mike. So Mike sent me. Mike's awesome. My man right here. He helped me. Oh, 33 magic numbers. Let's go. He sent me like a few dollars once on my Cash App, and I flipped it on the Cash App into Bitcoin. So I just want to remind people that the few dollars I had in there, I think it was under $30 in a small time frame, is now almost $200 due to Bitcoin. I just flipped it to Bitcoin. So you're never too late. You can jump in. And I had said that I would show you guys. I can't actually show it on camera because then you'll see my information. But I can take a picture of the number and show you guys what's going on. It's simple now. The future is going to turn out to be beautiful. And these are like little things that you can do. Like when I said, hey, you can buy Bitcoin on PayPal. And then they're like, what? Why would you want to do that? And I'm like, nah, hear me out. A lot of people don't have it. So they can only do PayPal. They feel they can only use that. And you're like, that's a bad idea. I'm like, I'm going to give you a scenario where it's a good idea. So I was with these nurses and they were always taking Ubers. They were forever going around. So I said, hey, take $100, throw it into PayPal, because you use PayPal. They're paying their Uber through there. And I go, flip $100 in a Bitcoin, and then now you'll have taxi money forever. And a couple of them were like, nah, you stupid. And a couple of them did it. So they're very happy people, the ones that did. And they're like, wow, this is crazy. I'm like, yearly, your cost of getting around has just shrunk to, we pay with everything through between Uber and PayPal. They use Bitcoin, and you can transfer it around, you can move it around, you can do all kinds of stuff. So if you didn't want to like buy it and hold it, you could use it. Obviously, you can't pay with the Bitcoin. What they're doing is taking the Bitcoin, transferring it to cash, and then paying it out. But so what? Who gives a shit? Did it help you? Yes. Then so helpful. So Michael, thank you for all that. Thank you for being there for that. I love you, and you're the best. Let's see, what do we got going in here? So thank you so much for spending this time. We're going to get deep into something tonight. Dusty Blue, what's up? Curry Niche is here. Oh, I thought about you the other day. That's the weirdest thing. That's the weirdest thing, but not weird at all, especially in the crowds we run in. All right, let's see. We got Cheryl's and Shadowcat. Yeah, so much. Greg's here. Oh, we got a bunch of Fearless family here. Oh, you guys are fire. So whatever you are in terms of the elemental, I'm a fire elemental. I'm a Leo. If you were Leo and you were fire elemental, throw fire up in the chat for me, will you? Right? If you were water elemental, air elemental, come on. If you an earth elemental, plant a tree. Let's see it. Let's go. Let's grow together. This is how we do it. Yeah, I'm at 1,800 subscribers now. I've been doing this since 2015. No matter how I promote the show or I push it or ask people to click whatever, the needle went from, it took 2 years to go from 1,500 to 1,800. Right? I'm watching crazy amounts of people blast past me. They do things like talk about action figures and bullshit. And I'm like, these guys have, I don't want to get into that. What I want to say is the right people. This is how I look at it. The right people are hearing me. I just need the right people to look out and stay Fearless family so we can keep it going. All right. That's great. So shout outs to everyone. There we go. Dun 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 dun. Matt's in the house, my man. I want to bring Paula on, but she went out to dinner. It's really weird. Paula doesn't dislike doing this. She doesn't want to talk about it. She wants to be it. Like when I'm saying I'm the example, she just lives that way. And it's really wild. She's rarely online. She checks. You send her a message. She'll say hello and stuff. But she's busy being happy. Like she's trying to take a scenario and just turn it on its head and be like, no, within this moment, we feel like we're in a wormhole, like a tunnel. And it's like a stop off that we had to do. We had to leave the apartment we were in. My mother said, come home. We didn't really want to stay here too long, but the scenario is kind of keeping us here at the moment, but we're also on the edge of our feet. Like, when is it going to all fall together? My case is looking good against the federal government. I've been fighting them since they released me from my duties in 2013. If that goes through, you know, you're looking at a change, something I've never seen before, but it's there. It's right on the precipice, as well as many other things. But during this transitional time, it feels like we're spinning. They said, don't sit down in the tunnel. Decorate the tunnel. Don't get comfortable. Don't get comfortable in the tunnel. It's a travel port. You can decorate it, sing songs, dance through it, do whatever you got to do. You want to cry in the corner? Whatever. Keep moving through the tunnel, and then you will pop out on the other side. I hope this makes sense. Well, when you pop out on the other side, that's like you obtaining the goal that you presented yourself. You keep moving towards it. We have a complete family here moving towards that moment. I need 30 seconds. Hi, baby. She keeps coming in the room. I have to give her something. So Paula wants to be part of it occurring. She already knows when we design our future backyard or a future acreage, she's like, never forget that we're going to put like the helipad for the UFO so they could just land right there. Be like, don't land on the grass. Then you're going to ruin the grass. You land right there. We're going to build it for you. G.I. Joe style, right? We just joke about it and stuff, but we mean it, right? UFO stuff is up. Things are crazy right now. My connections to all that stuff has been crazy. They're all there. It's all still going. It never stopped, but the distractions went up 1,000%. Everyone wants to know what's in these files and what's going on here. We all know what everyone's doing, but we have this internal thing. Come on, government, say something that works in our favor. Yeah. How about no? They're not going to. You are that which you are seeking through them. You can have these experiences. You don't need anyone to tell you anything. I hear some people talk sometime and I'm like, that's wild. It almost sounds like they don't know because they've never been there, but they're talking about it and they're selling books on it. There's so much confusion between sides of left and right and up and down. And like, I don't want to be fucking involved. I don't want to be involved in any of this. I wrote my songs about it. I performed them for 20 years, telling people to end the Fed and get the fuck out of here. Get these people out of here. We can only do what we do, but I can't live that way. I can't live like my rebellious statement to the system is no, right? The higher up I go, the less I got to say to it. It's the answer is no, get the fuck out of here, right? I'm busy doing, so I'm going to just go do. And that was another thing. I have to create music too. As I'm creating music, it was sidelining me. I was taking all the things I think I'm supposed to be saying and putting them into the rhymes and then making them work throughout the song. So all this new stuff's going to come out. And shout outs to Sons of the Sun. Kevin and I got some really good stuff coming. Top quality. I would have never hit that if I wasn't paying attention to it the way I needed to. I was dragging my feet on everything and it needed to change. The whole thing needed to change. Right. And that's what this is about. Change. People fear change. And I'm like, embrace the change. I know some change just sucks. It does. But then all of a sudden it doesn't. It's like, well, I couldn't do this. And I've been doing this for 30 years, but then stop doing it. Now I feel better. And I look better. All right. So shout outs to Sam. Lexi, give Sam a big hug and a kiss for me. And we miss you guys a lot. So how do I start tonight's? This is what we're going to discuss tonight. Shout outs to Sabrina Wallace. Okay. So shout outs to the job that this lady's doing now. So I don't follow people overtly hardcore, but I keep them in the access. I want to hear what you're saying, because a lot of us specialize. Like, I'm ayahuasca kind of thing, right? Other people do remote viewing, astral projections, or they do tarot reading. Like, we're all specific. Well, she has a lot of stuff that she discusses that's pretty specific, right? And she's like, she's got the documents, she's got the know-how, and she doesn't like, I don't even think anyone talking like propping her up, but I'm going to give her a prop up because of what happened to me. So I had heard her before, and her information, I was like, yeah, that's solid information right there, talking about the electric frequencies and the stuff they're putting in us, and they've been putting in us for years. Oh, I gotta watch how I talk tonight. I'm already in trouble with YouTube. All right, so she discusses the stuff, the nanotech inside of you, and I guess the electronics they would use to target you, and so on. And she has a lot of great info. Now, a lot of the info I know that she had, that I listened to, came now after what happened to me. I gotta put my glasses on. Yeah, I prop her up too. See, here's the thing. It's the information, not the person. This is how I'm like this with myself. It's like, well, Frank's been saying this. Well, everybody's got their favorite person. Everybody listens to who they listen to. And a lot of people are speaking the truth around all the people not speaking the truth. But the people that are hitting the nail on the head you should be like, this person's good, man. It's reputable info. This is solid. This is something. When you have the documents, it's a wrap. There's nothing you can say. So tonight's show, targeted sickness, digital targeted sickness. Because of my experience, it really just looks like I'm living in a movie script, a Truman Show. Fake weather, fake news, fake sickness, fake people, fake problems, distractions. Wondering what the hell is wrong with me. I think we all get into a rut where we wonder, what's wrong with me today? Why do I feel sick? Why do I maybe feel sick a lot? Why do I feel sick? And then it just suddenly goes away. Right? Well, obviously something's working inside you and it's taking care of it. Okay, well, let's go by that. So February, the end of January, February, I get sick. Paula was sick. My mother was sick. And I watched them. I watched the two of them for almost a week. And then I got sick. I was like, it's obviously the flu. It's all flu-like symptoms. But Mom was hallucinating. She was talking while she was under. And the things she was saying was weird. There were people there and things going on. And she was discussing her sickness. But when you listen to it, you're like, is it a scheduled sickness? What are you saying? Now you ask her when she's awake, she can't put it together because she's sick. When Paula's sick, she's like, it's not cycling out. I don't know what's going on. And then it hits me. And I'm like, oh, I gotta sniffle. Yeah, I'm going to bed early tonight. I'm starting to feel muscle fatigue. I'm like, this is weird. This sucks. Get into bed. This is one of the weirdest fucking things that's ever happened to me. I lay down and I fall asleep. Comfortable as you can be. I'm like nice and warm in bed. Boop. I'm in my dream. And then it goes real. The dream becomes real. I don't know how to explain this except that I was visually beginning to see the dream physically. I don't know. I was like in this, like I'm remembering my dream. And then it just became reality. And I was very confused. God, this was so scary. So I was on the other side, just standing on out of my body. And I was in, everything looked like behind a computer screen. If you ever popped off the screen and looked, you can see like where things might route from what piece to what piece, and then this goes through here, and then this wire comes up through here and does this to this connection. Kind of looked like that, but very clean. It was very specific. It was gray. And there were blocks. God, how do I explain this? Blocks of information, and they were color coded, traveling through the lines. And I was watching it occur, and I was like, wow, that's pretty crazy. All these things are lighting up. I think I died. Wait, what? You dead? You on the other side? This is real. I was touching myself, and it was the light body. I was like, what happened to me? Did I die? I couldn't see my body. I was in this place, but my feet, I wasn't moving anywhere. It was just my feet were down at the floor. And I'm looking around, and then these color-coded, I've seen them come from the highest point in the background, comes down a line, and it was 3 black boxes. They looked like bricks or something, and they just moved, got to me, came right down, and got right to me, and my arms went up in front of me, and I immediately went, and I saw the blocks go red, purple, green, blue, orange. And then I was like, what the hell was that? And I was like, wait. I'm like, am I breathing? What is going on here? So I'm like really confused. Then another set of blocks came down. This is where it gets freaky. The blocks came down, and I missed one, and the black box went in. And I heard the wheeze, and I'm like, wait, what's going on? I could hear myself, feel myself. What's happening? Black boxes started coming faster and faster down the line in sets of 3. They were like, one was like a square, one was like a rectangle, and the other one was a rectangle. And they just dropped into me. And I went, again, I made these weird fucking noises. Like, I'm like, what's happening? What? And my face, I go like lean forward, and it looks like I'm pulling like I'm going to fall on the floor almost. And I touch a certain point, and I pick my head up, and I see the whole thing. I'm physically now in my body. I look up. I'm having the full on visual of where I just was. I can see it. It's right in front of me. It's right here. I didn't go anywhere. I'm not dead. I'm alive, but I'm pouring sweat, and I'm 103-degree fever. I go, can't get any words out. Boom, black box start coming down. I put my head on the pillow. My light body comes back up. Now I'm half the light body, half my body. And I see my body struggling, sweating, pouring sweat. And I see these black boxes coming in. And I go, oh, my head. Oh, my God. The pain. It was unreal. Unfucking real. Then the heat. And I have to explain it this way because it's the only way I know how to do it, is to explain this to you. I have a whole bunch of notes, but I'm like, my head. Oh, it's going to pop. My ears. Oh, my ears. Why do my ears hurt all of a sudden? Man, what do I got? Did I get an ear infection? Like I started wigging out. My light body is trying to reach in front of me to reach the boxes before they enter me. And I see him working like this as I'm picking my head up going, and the box, he gets a few, and then the black ones hit me, and I get sicker and sicker. Oh, now my throat hurts. I'm like, I didn't have a sore throat 3 hours ago. I didn't have none of this. It was just a little thing. And it went from my throat to my chest. Now I think I'm having a heart attack. But my ribs hurt. Then my lungs hurt. I'm like, what's happening? Then parts of my stomach and lower parts were hurting. I felt it in my midsection, right where you kicked me right in the keys. I felt it in there. I'm like, oh, why does that hurt? It felt like something was moving through me. Then my hips hurt and I got terrible cramps. So bad that I'm like, I couldn't scream for help. And there was the two girls were sick, but they were a week apiece into it. And I'm like, they're moving around at least. They're gonna find me like this. This went down to my knees, both of my knees. I felt like they were gonna need to be removed. I've never felt pain like this in my life. Down to my feet. Then it went from my feet. It stopped. And I got like a few seconds of a break. I think I'm all right. I made it. Oh, I was so thankful and grateful. I think I made it. I'm all right. I looked almost normal. And then it hit me again. And I went down, tried to scream for help, poured sweat, worse than I've ever. My sheets were drenched. I've never had this happen before. And my body came out. There was the light body again, looking, and I saw others just getting hit with these black boxes. There were boxes that were just black, and it'd go right into you. They were traveling these lines, and now I could see people. Other people were just getting affected by it, and I seen this guy, his back, this guy, his front, this guy is this. This one thinks it's C19. All these people think they got the disease. These people think they have the flu. It's not really affecting these people over here. But it was a grid scenario where you can see the grid lighting up. Like the sections that were, it looked like the holodeck. I'm going to be honest, in Star Trek. It just had like places that you can kind of sit. If you walked by, you could jump up. It was like 4 feet high, like little bumps that came out of the wall. And then where the individuals were, it dipped down again. It's like you jump off the wall. Boom. Frank sits there. You sit next to me like 2 feet away, 2 feet away, 2 feet away. And just in a grid pattern. And I'm like noticing everything now because I'm not in pain. But I'm there. Again, I'm like, oh, look at this. Oh, I'm going to go off. And here they come again, the black boxes. This time they're coming real fast. And I'm going, it reminded me of somebody shooting at me and me trying to block it with swords. And the bullets were just getting through. And just because I was moving my hands, I was randomly getting a couple. So it made it look cool, but I was really getting hit with everything. Right. And the boxes were getting in. I started getting sicker again. And it went through this cycle again. And I said, this is really weird. Is it cycling through me? I mean, I've been sick, and when you're sick, it cycles through you. It starts as like a little wave. You get hit with it, and then it leaves like the way the sea comes in and out. Right? It's I'm feeling a little better. Oh, it's getting worse. It's getting worse. Oh, I feel a little bit better. Oh, I think I'm okay now. Oh, it took an hour for that wave to hit me, but I'm on my way to recovery. This was that in 3 fucking seconds at a time in intervals. And I could see it coming, and then I can see it being broadcast. I saw things lighting up, boxes, like electrical units, or I don't know how to describe this, like digital equipment of some kind. And then out of the tubes that were coming from there, like electric lines, were these codes. And they were being shot and dropped into sections. And I'm like, I don't think this is real. I've been hit with the sonic weapon. It knocks you to the floor. It's like concentric rings come out of the stick. And it basically, the faster they send it at you, it knocks you out of your body. So it makes it look like, you've been suicided or something, or that you had a heart attack and died. I've dealt with that before. We've done shows on that. They just came in and turned it on me. And then when they were like, well, I guess that's it, I jumped back in. I was still alive. I was like, oh, I got back up and it didn't work. I saw my body built. It was the weirdest thing. It was like building the energetic reverse of what you just hit me with. So it would hit me, and then it would, well, maybe not the reverse. So it would hit, and it was getting through, and then it would hit and start to not get through, and just a little would get through, and then boom, complete lockout. And then the third time they try it, it goes back at them. So it doesn't even work. Nothing's working. That's how the sonic weapon worked on me. It was like these concentric rings were hitting me. And then when the experience was over, they were still trying to get me with it. And I got up and I started screaming and started attacking everyone that was there. And it was a crazy moment. And yeah, I don't want to ever experience that again. However, this was, so I know they use weapons to do this, but how are they doing it? So I went through this and it lasted 3 weeks. I was able to count the cycles. They started coming on time. It wasn't leaving. It just would not leave. Everyone was just still sick. And then one day it just stopped. I went from being completely sick. I don't take any medications. I smoke weed. Maybe I'll take an allergy pill, a decongestant. That's it. Right? Like the ivermectin treatments for parasites. I don't count any of that bullshit. I'm not clogging my system with all kinds of weird shit. So I'm able to put a timer on myself, knowing that, oh, look what time it is. Here it goes. And it starts again. And it doesn't go away. And it just builds up, cycles through your system. Every single, when they say you have a side effect to something, or if they like, what are your symptoms? Every symptom. Well, you have the flu. Why do your knees hurt? Why does your feet hurt? Why does it feel like you got kicked in the groin? Why does it feel like there's something in your spine moving up and down your spine into your chest? And now I can't breathe. I've never had that happen. I have asthma. When I was a kid, I keep an inhaler right here just in case. It never felt like that. It never, I had to get stung by a bee once to have the asthma activate. And then I was like, oh shit. And I had to try albuterol and stuff. This was just closing me down. And then release. Then again, but now mix that with the sweating, fever, and all this other stuff. Just pain nonstop. So this experience where I was there watching everything, I was able to, like I said, time it out, see patterns, see grid lines where people are being doused with these codes from behind the screen. But where is that coming from? I had to think about this for a second because I'm in the Bronx, right? I walked outside. Oh, there are these little things on top of all the lights now outside. They're like little things that sit at the top. I was like, when did that happen? Right on my corner, there's a pole just dedicated to all kinds of equipment, right? It looks like a 5G plus. If you go too fast in front of the school, they're taking pictures from all directions. Like it looks like something you would see in Europe. And they started putting them in all over the place. I didn't notice. I don't bother going out all the time around here. I don't want to be out. I would rather be in the backyard or in the house or something, or go somewhere. I noticed these things are everywhere. So I went to the store one day. I was with Paula. I go, look at the side of that building right here. So a 5-story building, apartment building, right on the corner, has a giant repeater tower on it, right up against the person who lives in that apartment. Like it's attached to the side of the house and then goes above the roof and transmits whatever data. And they had that there. They had that at the grocery store. I mean, Morris Park is one store after the next, right? My neighbor's right here. I open that window right behind me. I could yell at the neighbor, can I get a cup of sugar? And she'll tell me to go fuck off, right? Because she's right there. So we're all caked into this spot, right? So then I had a flashback to when they use the sonic weapon on me. I was on Astor Avenue, in a different area of my neighborhood. And when they knocked me out of my body, the first thing I saw was the neighbors. I didn't see walls and like any solid objects where I got knocked out of. It looked like architect, like the blueprints of before it's set up, like before it's rendered, like it goes there, but it's just little lines to show like, oh, that's the table and that would be where the chair is, but you can't sit in any of that stuff yet because it's not ready to be there. So when I looked, I saw through the walls of the house, the next house, the next house, the next house, all the houses are on top of each other, and I seen all the neighbors just frozen in place. And I'm like, oh, it's not me they're doing this to. They're doing it to this whole section. It looked like there was a bubble. I talked about this on the show. It looked like there was like a bubble over, because I called to all my people and it was dead silence. I was going, where's my help? Where's this one or that one or this one? Where's the Galactics? Where's the Inner Earths? Where's all the people that are like, we're going to help you? We're not. Rah, rah, rah. The minute that the experience ended and I jumped up, that whole thing disappeared. Everybody went back away. All the connections came back, and it was like they were screaming into the comms on us. So I don't know who else talks to the Galactics and has their connections with their, beings, but they were like checking me. Are you all right? Where, like, you went dead silent. Like there was no connection to you. And I'm like, yo, they put it looked like a force field bubble over the block. It wasn't my house. It was everyone's house, but the blocks are small. But there's 100 people, easy 100 people. And it just bloop right over that square. And they're just all kinds of military guys working with these ETs that were showing them how to use the devices. And all the people they were just standing there. I wasn't standing there because I was having seizures the whole time. I think they were like using it on the area and figuring we were going to go out. They were going to get some of us. Paulo was putting ice packs on me in the bathroom. And then I said, oh, I'll be okay. It took a while to get my temperature down. I was like shaking. I thought I was having a seizure. And then we cleaned up and I said, I think I'm going to be all right. And I sat at the computer. She went to sleep and it just walked. The character walked through the computer. And I got up and I saw they were coming right behind me. It looked like a portal opened, but it looked like a saxophone. So it was like a dot in like right here, a dot. And then it went poof, like, and it just opened and they just ran right in. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? I just walked right through this. And he talked to me. I said, I was talking to myself. And the ET said, wait till you realize nothing's real. None of this is real. And I was like, what is he talking about? I ran into the bathroom right around where he was, and they just piled in the room, and he just turned it on. Bang! And my body hit the floor. And they started talking about what they were doing. And I was screaming, what did you do to me? Blah, 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 blah. And the ET was going, don't look at him. The ET was small. He was like a 4-foot gray, and these were like military men with masks on. They didn't have any insignias, but you can tell they were military because I could see through the portal. I could see that it was some kind of staging platform. And from there, they were doing these, I want to say tests. They were testing the products or whatever. And he said, he can't touch you, harm you, or anything in where he is in this. And I'm thinking, how are you seeing me, but you're in my room, but you're also seeing this part? And I realized they're using equipment to access an area that overlays us that we're not aware of. And they just walk right out of it, right? And just blend right back in with us. It's got to be equipment. It's got to be equipment. There's no way you could do that. They were just regular military guys, because when I got up, I said, let me tell you something. I had one of the guys right on me. I said, I will remember you. I took a deep breath too. Like I looked at him in the eyes, like, and another guy cracked me in the back of the head, knocked me right on my fucking ass. I have no clout that way. I had the cut in the back of my head, Paula came running out, bleeding all over I'm bleeding all over the place. What the fuck is going on in here? Everyone get out! Like screaming. It was a terrible scenario. However, that background place and their ability to access it and send things, weapons, signals, frequencies in our direction. I can only speak on my experience. Whether you believe it or not, I don't give a shit. That's my experience with it. But then this is happening to me, and I'm going, with all the things that I know are real, like when you fight with a reptilian or argue with one of these ET beings, or you're, I don't know, just involved with these, it's one thing. But when someone's using a weapon on you and they're doing it this sneaky, and it's like a whole grid set up, I'm like, what is this? Is this the false matrix reality that surrounds us? Like, I don't know how they built this structure, or is this structure already there and then they went in there and manipulated some stuff, like added tech over the holographic overlay? I don't know. So weeks later, I was sitting down, and then I got a full download on pretty much how it was going. So the 5G repeater towers excuse me, the 5G repeater towers in close proximity, repeating signals, creating a fake digital flower of life pattern, blocking us. It says blocking us from the ether, the organic raw living. The overlay locks us in as we are tuned in. It only works because of the product poisons. They are loaded with, the products that we use are loaded with heavy metals. The shots have technology, MNRA, poisons, heavy metals, creating antennas inside of us. We are already antennas to life itself and our own evolution. So they're taking what we already are. I can't see like that. They're taking what we already are and like it's almost like running a line right alongside of what you are, and then giving you a false fake thing that's kind of like what you're trying to be or are. And it's creating massive confusion. Okay. So, once locked into this invisible digital system, overlaying, the towers transmit repeating frequencies emulating a sickness. So it's like a digital signal sent to you that's telling you in your body that you're sick, but that's hitting the material inside, the materium inside your body that's not supposed to be there. And then that's what's creating the emulation of the sickness. So you think, oh, I'm sick. And meanwhile, it's a frequency that's been blasting you, and it's just hitting the heavy metals inside of you and all these other poisons. I saw so many reactions to different things. Each thing reacts different with the other things. And I'm like, they're just fucking going for it. So then you go to it's a digital sickness, right? So this is what they want to have, and this is what they're also doing at the same time. And it's beefing up a little bit. They want you get the sickness, right? And then you're like, I'm sick, I got to go to the doctors, right? So I go to the doctor, and he goes, you're going to need to take a shot, right? And I'm like, that's what they always do. That you got to come in, even if you're sick, they want to hit you with a new thing. Now they'll have a shot that's a frequency blocker. After they get all this stuff rounded up proper, and they have it all online, and it's ready to rock and roll, not just sections, and we're testing, and no. You go to the doctor, you tell him, here's my symptoms, blah, blah, and blah. And he goes, I got just the shot for that. He gives it to you, and there's a frequency blocker in the shot, right? Among other things, of course. But the frequency blocker, disguised as a flu or a COVID, vax, but because the new sickness, the shot only lasts a month because it's new. It's a new thing. So it's only going to last this amount of time. But the sickness, it's going to be everywhere because it's digitally being pumped at you. But you don't know this. So you go to the doctor, he gives you a shot, and it lasts a month. You have to go back and get another shot. He's just giving you a frequency blocker. So it'll knock that frequency down and not allow you to be part, you feel like, oh, I got better. But then you got to go back. And again and again and again. And this goes on forever. Remember in Canada, they were saying, oh, you're going to need one every month. You're going to need to come back and get your boost and your second boost and your third boost. Yo, YouTube, you better not fucking take me down for this shit because all of this is proven true. Sorry, bugging the fuck out because if I lose my account over this, I'm going to be really dicky. I forgot to read this bottom part. That's why I read out like flu, COVID, and all that. I was going to change the name to Ralph and Phil or some shit. Okay. It says here, the shots only last a month, so you will need another. But the shot is only poisoning you and adding more new tech while just blocking the digital signal temporarily, trapping us in a cycle. You get 3 choices. 1, 2, 3. Ready? 3 choices. Take the shot, die, or suffer the fucking cycle. I was like, are you fucking kidding me? I was like, this is our future, right? No, this was the 15-minute city. This was the lockdown area, and then bloop, and then this area can get this digital sickness while that area gets that digital sickness. Y'all areas can't talk to one another. You can't get up and go over there. So you all won't know what's happening over there compared to what's happening over here and how they're testing it over here compared to over there. It becomes this fucking free for all of thinking, oh, we're permanently sick forever. So, oh boy. That's my digital sickness story. Ma. Right? So have you experienced this? What are your experiences with this? Do I sound crazy to you? It could be, but I don't think so. They've been telling us all along how they do it. I see that they have the patents for it. I mean, literally, there's paperwork on it. So if there's paperwork on it, they'd be testing it. I don't trust no one. The corporations and the pharmaceuticals, they'll take it into that area. You would think, oh no, they won't clone the ape and turn it into a scholar, right? Or a weapon. No, they wouldn't do that. Why would they do that? I mean, only every major story with every major comic book character seems to come about that way, right? Like Wolverine. They're like, oh, a guy with the ability to heal. Yeah, let's put unbreakable metal on his skeleton and lace his claws with that metal and make them razor sharp and then mind control him and send him into the crowd. What? So this has always been on the table. It has always been this way. And it's really funny. It's not funny, but in They Live, there's a scene that just always gets me. He comes out of the supermarket and he says, he looks up and he sees the digital signal is being, when he has the glasses on, is being broadcast on a light post. I think it's a light post. And it's like, and it's like spinning and rotating. But with the glasses off, it just looks like the wall, right? Like, and then he puts it on and the little sphere shows up and he's like, you guys watching me? But you couldn't see that until you had the glasses. And what are we seeing now? We have the sphere of Nicaragua, wherever that sphere landed with the UFO thing that could or could not be from an ET race, or like everyone's like, oh my goodness, that could be inner Earth. That could be any military industrial complex weapon of some kind. It could be a corporate. This is one thing I'm learning hardcore. Corporations are just going to take it balls to the wall. So when you have a corporation, they're like, yeah, we're here to do this. The tests that they run and the things that they're going to do, They're going to break every rule to get there. They're going to break every one of them. No rights, no other reasons except we're going to do it because we can. Right? And I'm like, holy shit. So they built this system. But my confusion is, where the fuck is that system? Like, I don't know where it was, where I was seeing it from. My perspective was like behind the scene, behind the glass of the computer screen. It was the fucking weirdest thing, man. I still can't stop thinking about it, because I was my light body. I was my body. I thought I was dead. I was like, this is what it feels like to be dead. When people are like, I was in the dream, and they die in their sleep, and then they just wake up in the middle of the dream. Like, they're in the dream, and then that's what happens. And then light beings come up to you in the dream, and they're like, you're right. And you're like, yeah, I don't know what's going on. They're like, well, you died. You just gone. You're already gone. There was no. And I'm looking at this background area, wondering, now, mind you, if I'm seeing it, I'm meant to see it. There is no, oh, well, he wasn't meant to see this. You can say that, but Source has put me on this planet. Right? So Source has got plans. He must want this talked about, because he put me there. Right? Because I'm good for two things: describing everything that I see and making your life miserable if I catch you doing it. I could walk right in and you can't stop me. That's the problem with me. My visual, I could see up and down in density. I also walk into those worlds. I could just walk in. That's what I'm here to do. Those are the things that I'm good at. I see it and I report on it. I don't add anything extra, guys. It's not worth it. If I start adding extra, it starts to sound even stupider. I can only describe what I see. And a lot of times what I see is not the best things. However, once you know what they're doing, you can then figure out a way around it. I haven't even had so much of a sniffle since. Still didn't go to the doctor. Still haven't, like, the world is changing. And my revelation, I feel like, as the guard is changing, right? We're going from one leader to the next, and we know it's much more than that. But in the new time, in the age of Aquarius, the handle of leadership goes to another division, not of the same house. So it's like all the old stuff now is going to fall away. It's going to release itself from your grip if you choose the ascending timeline. So these things that they use, they're just, now that's it. You're done. You start to go away, and you're like, well, it'll ramp up. No, it won't. You're going to see things in the future, like people getting locked up now. All the things that everyone said, you're going to see it. But you're like, no, but he's on the side of this and that. And the other. No. The guard changed, but didn't hand it to the next best friend, even though we're like, both parties are working together. No. These guys want the AI, crypto, beautiful gold-backed dollar future this way. So yeah, there's going to be a set of new things, and you're going to be like, oh, I hate those new things. And then a set of really cool, awesome new things that you would have never had here. Does that mean we stop fighting the power? No. It just means if you got into crypto and you like AI stuff, here it comes. The choice lies within you, what you're about to do. If you live in fear, you go to the timeline where maybe it's just all transhumanism and it just lines itself up, right? You're like, oh, well, the new guard brought us into this system. And I'm like, in the same system as you, broken off, going this way, going, nah, what you're describing, I don't live that way. What I'm hearing you're doing and you're in is this, but everything I'm doing is lifted and up and over here. You can literally tell the separation. One is all fear-based and one is not. And we're not just putting it off. We're not saying trust the plan. We're not saying trust Trump or dude, every one of these people has caused treasonous acts. All of them. Right? So if this was really to go into the hands of George Washington, like if I brought my man George out here, all he would say is, get me my fucking musket. That's all I can tell you. We're not supposed to be being sucked into that bullshit. They're dragging us into it. More distraction, more distraction, more distraction. Or here's more jets, more giants, more Coke, more Pepsi, more this, more that. When I'm on Twitter and I see artificial dyes being taken out by 2027. Oh, so you're taking the poison out finally. Why'd you put it in? There was already rules against you putting it in. Why'd you put it in? I want someone to go to jail, like all of them, not just the one guy from the corporation, because we know it wasn't just him. Everyone that knew is an accomplice. Everyone. Did you know you were putting poisons in there? Well, yep. Did you put the poisons in there? Yep. It was mandated. It's literally the law of the company. Yeah, you're going to jail. You poison people. You know where that leads when you poison? Leads to death. Leads to more egregious things like cancers and tumors and shitty things that happen to fucking people all the time. You know, you're the direct cause for that. And they'll look at you and be like, oh, you know, you didn't have to eat it. They think that absolves them from the karma. When I see 2027, we'll get it all out by then. I want all of you in jail. What do you mean all of it'll be out? Tomorrow. You shut down the factory, recall everything, and get it out. It's not good for even animals. You know, I bought these greenie treats. Greenie with a G. I thought they were good because I read a couple of reviews. I got it and I looked at it and I read what was in it. And then I went back online and then went into a different area where people were discussing. Let me go read all the 1-star reviews everywhere. Poison, straight poisoning your animal. It was a buy one, get one free, but I thought it was healthy because it was organic and it was good, all natural. There was nothing natural in that fucking poison. I took it. People were like, yo, donate that, give it away. I'm like, no, I'm not giving it to your pet to eat. Are you fucking mad? This is how the problem begins. Oh, I just put the poison off on you. No, we throw the poison away in the garbage. The rats won't eat that shit. Right? We got to start thinking higher, thinking better, thinking more, caring more about yourself, about the things you do. How high do you hold yourself in respect? I hold my regard pretty high for myself. That's why when people are like, what kind of bullshit is he talking today? I don't pay attention to them. I look at you, sink back into that world, and I go, man, I used to be that guy. I'm scared to fall back into that matrix and not be in a cocoon and just pop out and be like, oh, I'm Superman again. Like some people just have no clue. And it's crazy. But I've learned I'm not here to save anyone. I never have been. I was here to awaken my people. You know who you are. Y'all work with me. You worked with me. You drank ayahuasca with me, ate mushrooms with me. You're my friend. We just talk about it. Every one of you. Through his voice, you'll know it's him. You're there. You're here. I met you. You met me. You hear me. Here we go. That's all I was required to really do, is make those connections. But as extra credit, I'm going to do a little something more. So I'm going to start digging back in on weirdo topics. This month, I have a little access to very, very, very powerful psychedelics this month. And I haven't really, every psychedelic I've done has made me lay down and my internal conversation would get really, really big. It was very relaxing, very calming. I would do things like music. I'd like get it playing in my mind. And while that was happening, they would be like cleaning and clearing me. They're like, dude, you're killing everything bad in you, leaving all the good stuff, but you're not pulling it out. So it's all just like a purge and some kind of cleaning experience from my body. Not as much the ships and inner earth, but my daily life has become that. the connections are all ridiculously there. During my greetings yesterday, I said, I always called Jesus Space Jesus, but I opted. He said to me a while ago, when I first met him, actually. I said, "Are those guys with you, Jesus guy?" And he looked at me and he goes, "What guys?" And behind him, there were like security officers that looked like they were in Star Trek. And there was a giant UFO over the house right on the other side of the street. So I go, they with you? And he's like, "Yep." I go, "That your ship?" He goes, "Well, that's the ship I'm on." I go, "Space Jesus," right? He's coming from space, but he never really left. He's like, "Dude, I hate when you do that. I hate it. I don't like it. I don't like that." I go, "What, Space Jesus?" He goes, "Well, I'm not in space." I go, "He's right out your field of view, right in front of the home, but you can't see him, but he's there. Space Jesus." And you'd hear him getting frustrated, but I was teasing. I was just having fun because I was having a mental breakdown, I think, in the moment, meeting these people. So I was having fun with it. Like, I grabbed his robe. I had some fun. So when I greet him, I would always say, "Greetings, Space Jesus." And then I finally started hearing again, "Hey, listen, buddy, I don't like that. How many times I gotta fucking tell you?" Right? And I hear the other from the greet. I greet Ra, Horus, Sekhmet, Anubis, Toth. Like, I go through the whole rounds. It's a mental thing that I do because of these beings I've met. And it's like I greet those who have been with me in past, those who I'm in connection with, and all the different deities, because each one has taught me something different and new. And Shiva was like, he really doesn't. I work with Shiva all the time. He's like, he don't like that. And I'm like, you know what? I feel terrible. I really, really do. It's not funny anymore to me. So I go, I'm not going to say it anymore in my greetings. So I went, "Greetings, Jesus." And then I slipped. I do it every day, the greetings. So I slipped a few. And then I suddenly stopped. And it wasn't funny no more. This other thing occurred. And I would just do my greetings. I'm focusing on me while I'm doing the greetings. Like, it's an internal thing. And it's like keeping my mental strong by knowing all this stuff. And it only takes me 5 minutes to do, but it's a worthy 5 minutes. And then during the check, there he is, Jesus. He's smiling at me. And he's like, "All right, man, it's been like a couple months now, right?" And I'm like, "You're the best." And he's like, "No, you're the best." And we appreciate that. By you not being courteous enough to the person telling you, "I don't like when you do that to me." You're not learning from anything. You're just being a little bully dick. Like, it's cute the first couple of times even. And then after that, it's like, well, now everyone's calling me fucking Space Jesus. I'm not from space. I'm literally you and you and you and you. And we're all just human. And I broke the code. And now I'm with our galactic family. And I'm like, one can build the argument that you're chilling in space. However, I'm going to let it go. And I felt like I became, after a few, this is kind of weird, but I feel like I leveled up in manhood by understanding that I was doing that to you, and it just wasn't cool. Because I don't go out and hang out with too many people. So if I start doing that to someone, maybe they punch me in the face. Maybe they tell me I never want to go out with this guy again and hang around him. And it's a little detail like that in the mix of the whole thing, that one detail is kind of corrupting the whole fucking thing and making everyone go, "Hey, you want to wake up, snap out of it?" It's almost like a test you're not passing. You're just kind of overlooking it, going, no, that's okay, all day long, Space Jesus, right? No, clean your mind, get it together. But when I did that, boop, I bopped up. A level. It was like a checkpoint, a level upgrade, whatever you want to call it. And felt so fucking good. My heart felt fantastic. I don't pray to any of these guys. I treat them all as family. I just give them respect, lots of love. And they've always been here. And some of them are still here I believe they would technically they're all still here, but some walk among us as well. And that's going to be another thing that we wind up discussing eventually, that how many of us are of those creatures, literally, those beings reincarnated, literally. You know, how many times have you heard someone read something from the past and they were so dedicated their life to like a Graham Hancock figuring things out? But how do you know that the stuff in the history that he's working with wasn't stories of him in the reincarnated? You know, he used to be that guy. So when he tells the story, you know, like what your profession in it guides you, and then you're reading some ancient text and you're like, this is amazing when you finally know. And it's like, dude, you might be been the guy that wrote that text. That might have been you, literally. You might have been the guys that were part of that. And now here it's revealing itself by you being so studied up on it, so interested in it, and so part of it, making it relevant today. All right, I see a lot of stuff going on in the chat. I have to come in here and take a look. Let's see. The Gray Jedi. Yeah. All right. So my thing is getting out of the city to escape these zones. And we left. We travel up the Cocooning State Parkway. It's a straight run. And we're like, how long do you drive before you can take a deep breath and feel like you're not part of this shit no more? Like the city. So it used to be like 20 minutes away, you'd get this relief, like, oh, I can breathe again. And now it doesn't come for an hour. So we were making jokes as we were driving. We were like, Westchester Avenue, still too close. You know, Sleepy Hollow, still too close. Right? And we'd just be going and going and going. And then when we got to where we were headed, we were like, this isn't far enough. It's like you move away and they put all the fucking houses on top of each other again. When I'm not doing an HOA, I don't want my neighbor attached to me. I don't even want to see my neighbor. I want to know you're there, but not visually see you every 2 seconds. You know why? Because if I open that window, those beautiful people next door, if I say, hey, let me get some sugar, they'd be like, here's the fucking sugar. Close the fucking window. I could hear you fart from here. I don't want this no more. So that deep breath of fresh air, I bet, is the zone that you pass and the signals start to get weak. Hey, Carrie, glad to be back. I've been on Nisha's show before. I've been on the Cosmic Salon a whole bunch of times. You can check me out there. I would always be happy to be back. Nisha's awesome. So many beautiful people. So many beautiful people. Digital versus agricultural, natural societies. Yeah, man, I feel it. I feel it. I mean, is this the separation too? Here, let's talk about this for a second. So the split occurs, maybe, but we're all still sharing the same space. We can be like, let's just say Northern New York State. And then there's the city down here. And then we just go to where agriculture and land and where there's less of that technology, and we set up shop there, and then we build out whatever it is we're going to do there, or just live there and just live really well internally, like be happy and that you're away, but now you have this. And then that's the split. You create 5D where you're standing, because your aura is like a bubble, and what happens to you in time and space and all the experiences are like happening to you as an individual, though we're sharing the space with everyone. So we're all in our university bubbles, sharing the giant space, going through our experiences at all different levels. I mean, you could be really well versed at like a lot of things, and then at like common sense have only a little bit. So it's like you're level 1 common sense, but you're level like 36 intelligence, which is really high, and you're like, holy shit, but this guy can't tie his fucking shoe, right? So you learn to tie your shoe, and then all of a sudden you start moving, your intelligence goes up and your common sense goes up, and you start to become wise through experience and all kinds of cool shit. So we're all in different places, in different positions, in different class modalities, doing all different things at all those different levels. And it's being recorded inside the aura bubble, right? And you're like, well, that's my aura. I'm like, I'm trying to show you that you got a force field bubble around your buddy. That's yours. And inside of that, it keeps the details of all this shit. So you don't have to go out there to get the info. It's all in here. It's a reflection. So what's in me is reflected inside the sphere, right? So if I need to do something, I just take a look. And some would say, call it a Merkaba, right? Or Merkaba. I don't remember the name. But if that thing starts spinning and creates that bubble, inside there is all of you. That's why you don't need anything out there. It's all right here. It's even your manifestation space. Crazy. So we just building that 5D frequency up and then anchoring it down on a section of property somewhere. And then that property, just as it resonates inside that bubble that you're creating of awesome in the area that you're in, it either connects to other awesome bubbles, or your neighbor could be in the other timeline and you almost never see them. And maybe they're into the technology a certain way or the religion a certain way. And it's just something different. So then you can have like 5D right here and 3D right there, and they're right next to each other. But they're the 5D is aware of the 3D. The 3D really pays no attention to the 5D because he's so wrapped up in the 3D. Rather than it splitting and we going to two different locations. I don't know. I'd like to know, though. I love you too, Dave. Sons of the Sun. So shout outs to KG, my man. Don't forget Sons of the Sun. Check us out. Check out all the music we've been doing. Once again, click like and share. And if you like it, throw it into rotation, baby. It's the summer. Get out there and spin it. All right, let's see. Questions. I have to ask you, let's put it up. I have to ask, are you on mushrooms or is this LSD that you're taking? I always forget what it is. I never take LSD. And the conversation I'm having is when I had gotten sick, not when I had eaten mushrooms. So a lot of the stuff I do is non-psychedelic, but you get the same results. And a ton of what I do is through the psychedelics, but the psychedelics has helped me heal, and the mushrooms are my go-to. And yeah, speaking about mushrooms, I'm going to be blasting into them this month and then doing reports immediately following the mushroom session. So as soon as I'm capable of putting my brain back together, I'm going live and we're going to do this. We're going to do the 4,000 hours in 30 days. There's no stopping us. You can't stop the Fearless family. We've already arrived. We're already here. Now you just have to deal with us. And it allows me to reach deeper levels of cleansing the psychedelics rather than just being like, I want to see spaceships. I never do that. I talk to the mushrooms. I say, I love you, mushrooms. Yeah. Right? Secret Stash mushrooms. I love you so much. I'm so happy that I'm grateful that I actually have the ability to work with you. I know you're the closest related entity to us in this physical plane. I appreciate my brothers and sisters. If you could help me out this evening, I'll be entering shortly, and I talk to them. This is what I'd be looking to getting into. And I'm going to forget everything I just said right now when I'm in and I see you, or the experience begins to occur. It's going to be like, holy shit, I fucking forgot the list. So here's the list now, because there is no time. It's just always now. So here's my list in advance. So I'll be in a couple of hours, but no matter what happens, I'd like to clean, I'd like to clear. And then if it's okay with you, in whatever you're about to teach me, if you can just get me some if I could just know a little bit of info about X, Y, and Z. I don't push the button. They go, you need to clear this first. I'm like, let's do it. Okay, he did it. Now what do you want to do? It's mostly free after that. So I'm like, well, let's see what's going on around me. Let's see what's going on over here. Let's see what's going on over there. You know, I it's hard to just sit back and see the whole thing. Sometimes I just want to engage. And then sometimes I just want to peek and go, okay, that's there. That's good. Okay, that's good. Could we unlock something in me with more creativity, please? I'll grab one of my wands and hold the wand and unlock another piece of me through using the crystals in the wand. And I could focus it and I'll be like, that's an unlock. That's a door that's locked. I want to go in there. Maybe I'll be unlocking something really cool, right? All my stuff is getting healed. My karma's resolved. Now karma just happens like that. I slap you slap me. This isn't going to go into a futuristic hold Frank down into a scenario where he has to come back and heal this and fix that one and live life again with this one. No, I'm going straight through, no death, walking straight into the place that we think is heaven, 5D, this, that, or the other thing. I'm taking my flesh, my body, and it's coming with me. And many of us are going to be doing the same exact thing. Sugar Pop, I'm going to be done in a moment. Yeah, I don't fuck with LSD because LSD does not have the consciousness that mushroom does. It's kind of does what it does for you, I guess. Like it opens you up. Like I had a 12-hour trip once. I was trying to talk to it. It wouldn't talk to me. It was just me bouncing things off a mirror reflection of me. And it was reptilians attacking me and then dinosaur men attacking me. And then these characters are attacking me and those characters. And it was all versions of me. It was always me be like fighting me. So I was like, this sucks. I'm bored. I can't do 12 hours of this shit. I was like, it feels like there's no consciousness to it. I'm the only thing here. When I eat mushrooms, there's like a whole existence that I'm part of, like the whole thing I become connected to. The raw organic. It's nature. It's the nature program. Nature wants to work with you. That's the mother program. We're here to work with her. And they put a whole bunch of like tape in between us and her. Right. And they say, no. Can you hear what she just said? No, there's tape in front. I can't see what she's saying. Can she see what I'm saying? She's looking and she's like, nah, you're going to have to speak louder because they keep putting shit in between us. Distractions and disruptions. That's all it is. If you can clear that out inside of you, you'd have all the abilities that you need as well. Everyone's original and special. So my ability to see up and down in density is really cool, but I've seen people do way cooler shit than me. Like way cooler. I just enjoy being part of it. Right? It's all about all of us becoming the next thing. We've already been here for all the other stuff. It's fucking boring. Time to bring back the fantasy. Right? This is why Lord of the Rings, I had this conversation yesterday at dinner. Everyone was loving Lord of the Rings, loving it, just out of nowhere. I'm talking about it. My brother pulled out he has a Lego, the Kingdom from the Lord of the Rings movie, like the one that's made of gold and where the elves live, like Rivendell or some shit. He has the playset that he's got to build with Lego. And we were like, wow. And I was explaining to my nephew, I'm like, you know why people really like Lord of the Rings? Because it's a reflection of real life. I was like, that's Pangea when we were running around and knew what the hell was going on. All of that shit was there. Nobody was like surprised to see that guy. They were like, oh, it's him. He's back. Or it's them. Of course they were there. And they got the elves and the orcs and the humans and the wizards and the sorcery and the sorcerers and and dragons and different beings and characters that come. They land on meteors. From a meteor strike, boom, Gandalf comes out of that. Mithril, like these characters are us. They're all the archetypes, all the different forms of warriors and sorcerers and sorceresses that worked through these moments. So we're drawn to the story. I was like, the god of that universal realm, Lord of the Rings. If you get into the lore, I forgot the guy's name, right? But they show you like a chart and he sits up at the top of the chart, and then the chart goes lateral but lower than him, and then it shows you all the different characters all the way down that pyramid. So he's at the top, and I'm like, oh, so if you work from the top and go source, Archangel Michael, the angels, the whatevers, you work all your way down the densities, the lines. It's a pyramid with lines. On this line, these characters are up here in the spirit realm. And then when they make a decision, they launch somebody on a meteor. The meteor hits the planet. That character comes out of it like it cracked out of a fucking egg. And you're like, oh, okay. So you're entering the chessboard by putting the characters onto the board. Okay, so this is Clash of the Titans. We're going to have this guy do this. We're going to have this guy do this. And then it shows you the god moving the chessboard piece. And then you see Perseus. He walks up and he finds the sword, the shield, the helmet. And you're like, how did that happen? He's like, dude, they're accessing the fucking chessboard. They're just putting it right on there. So those characters are there. And those are some of your favorite characters that you're like, oh shit, that's the Lord of the Elf and the Lord of this guy. And you see how they dropped in and became part of the 3D environment and what they were called before and what they're called now, and how they don't remember, I used to be called Gandalf the Grey until, yeah, you died and you came back. You were reborn Gandalf the White, and you have all these other abilities, but you never left the chessboard. You went kind of, your body hit the floor, boop. You looked up, I'm going to go up, back up there. They go, Mithril, go back down. You're not done yet. Boom, he goes back in. He rebirths, he's reborn, and he's completely brand new again with all this extra shit, working his way back to having the magic through the inability of remembering what the fuck is going on here. Why am I even here? If you look at Gandalf's story, when he first comes, he lands on the meteor. He don't know who the fuck he is. People are guessing, oh, it's Ishtar, it's that guy, it's this guy, it's this guy. Meanwhile, it was him entering the chessboard, but he had amnesia. So this happens to all of us. All of us, the greatest wizards, the greatest minds, the greatest ability. We all come here with that. I just don't know if there's more life out there, or if this is just a candle flame in the dark, right? And we got to protect life at all costs because there's nothing else out there. That's a scarcity thought, right? We're the only candle burning, so we must protect it and keep it safe. And Elon Musk say something stupid like that. Yeah, he's not the smartest guy in the world. He's a fucking retard, just like everyone else. And you heard it here first. These guys are good, but they're not. I was watching the Will Smith movie with the iRobot. That's his story. He's going to make the robots with the 3 rules, and then they're going to do this, and that's going to happen. And this is happening right now. He said by 2030, everyone will have their own robot. Right? Hold on a second. Is this an emergency? Or are you just making fun of people? So Paula is drunk. She went out with her girlfriends. All right. I know, Bobby. I know I'm coming. How much of what did I eat? This? Yeah, I don't funk with the LSD at all. I can't do it. I can't do it, kids. The LSD is for back in the day when it was necessary. I guess use what you got, right? Some people use salvia and they have these amazing experiences that are just weird. Well, we're traumatized, right? So this is how I look at it. When I did ayahuasca and then unlocked, people get mad at me. Well, you had to use this. Yes, I did, because I was a complete asshole. I had a hard time dealing with everything. I was traumatized. Can get back in the day incredibly violent. Incredibly, because this whole neighborhood was fucking crazy. So I was ready at the drop of a hat to beat yo ass with 6 people or get my ass beat or run. Like, it was always a fight for fucking survival. So I was thick-headed and ignorant and a brick in the mind around the ego of, oh, he's in the music world and he gets laid and he does all these things. None of that shit mattered. Once I woke up, I was like, whoa. The reality set in, and I was like, oh, thank you, because I couldn't believe anymore that I was running in this hamster wheel. Like, there's no more for me. There's no more to do. Like, the creativity was getting stale, the people, the things, it was getting darker. I was like, oof, ayahuasca turned that light on in me. And it took many sessions, but I'm also a shaman, so I work with it. So it's not just that I'm drinking it, but I'm, I don't just make it, but I'm the client, right? Like, it works both ways symbiotically. And there are things that I have to take care of sometimes that, although in relation to myself, I'm being helpful to someone else, service to others, where I would drink ayahuasca. There used to be a crew of us, and I'll just say me and Shaman Jimmy and a few others. We would drink ayahuasca all in different states in the U.S., all at the same time, and then go to ayahuasca mother and be like, where do you need us? And she'd be like, today you're descending on the rituals. And then the portal would open and we would just jump through and we'd see ritual for that, ritual for this going on, sacrifices for that. And we would attack them. We would literally go and attack them. We'd go in a day before and rearrange things so they were wrong. So any kind of energy they were building up in their equity started to drain, because we were jumping in timelines where they were trying to be successful, because the more success they were having, the stronger they become here. So we were just going into all the other timelines and being like, no, pulling the rug out, and their power and abilities just started to drain. So I was part of those crews. I'm part of the people that go up on the ship where they have people trapped in cages, etc., and then be the first ones in there. And then from there, physical ships would show. So it was almost like multiple lines of offense and defense. They're going to take the ship. They're going to take the platform. They're going to land their ships on that platform. They're going to get out and take this ship, because there's people in here that they've been keeping as slaves in the back. I'm keeping this very dry and simple. So who goes in first? Creator beings just start descending and sending light into all directions, blinding everyone. And then our ships just landed. Boom, 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 boom. Physical guys get out, start running around and doing stuff. Causing distractions, disruptions. It works on both sides. We're all part of this. Every little thing I do. All right. Thank you very much for being here with me tonight. I appreciate you so much. Yeah, I miss Jimmy too. I miss Jimmy more than he'll ever know, which is weird. That's fucking weird. But he was great, and I'm just going to celebrate the greatness. That's it. And I'm going to celebrate the greatness in you. And once again, so if you guys can hit like for me, just so it registers these that you viewed. I got banged by YouTube, and they're taking away my monetization unless I could hit 4,000 hours in 30 days. So we are on a mission from God, and we're going to just kind of ramp it up, go right back in and do it all again. All right. We're going to be doing meditations. We're going to be short hangouts. I'm going to do some events from my garden. Right. So we'll do meditations right from there, short breathing, things to uplift you for your day. Obviously, the shows with the experiences and guests. I had asked once before, a couple of times actually, over the history of me doing Fearless, do you want me to bring guests on? Everyone says yes. I bring the guest on. The show gets 200 views. So if you want guests, tell me who you want. If you guys are going to come out and celebrate the guest, We'll start bringing people back on the show again. I'll try to get who you want. I love to talk to people and interview, but I'm not going out of my way to grab people. I'm not going to go leapfrog. But if I can get the person, or they want to be part of this, or if it's just you wanting to share your experiences with me as a fearless family conversation, we can do this. We can do a roundtable. I'm not a roundtable fan, but I can host while you talk. I can ask you questions and make you bring it forward. I'm here for all this. I'm a fan of you. I just appreciate that you're there for me. All right. I love everybody so much. Don't forget to check out Sons of the Sun music. Shout outs to all my Twitter family that's in here tonight. I love you. Stay awesome and keep up with me now, because now we're going every day. Every day we're going to be doing something new. So just keep your lock it in. Look for any alerts that YouTube or Facebook or Twitter, whatever, will send you. And like, let's lock it in and start working together. And as I'm saying this for the last, Lexi, I will do a an X. I don't know what they're called. Spaces. If you guys want me on there, come get me. I'm ready. If you guys just want me to come and like, do you want me to just turn it on one night and just invite all of you, and then you guys could start inviting, because I don't really know how to do it, but I'm willing to be part of all that. That's a new thing for me to jump into, but I'm ready to rock. And I know you run the gammy, Lexi. So you let me know what you want to do. And oh yeah, and I'll be on Solaris's show, The Witching Hour. Let me bring my calendar up. Dun, dun, dun. Raven Star's Witching Hour, August 2nd at midnight. So don't forget to see us there. Definitely join us. And that's going to be great. We're bringing it back around. Thank you guys so much for being here. I love you. And I did a lot of stay fearless, everyone. And remember, the universe rewards bravery. Don't worry about it. You got this. We got this. All right. I love you. We'll see you around. See you soon. Fearless family. We are out of here. Peace.